Hi and welcome to Terry Talks Movies. This time around I've got the new releases from Imprint films for this month. There are a lot of spooky movies in this bunch of 7. Not gory horror, not blood dripping from every part of every person horror, but old-fashioned spooky haunted house creepy horror. The movies range from the 1930s to the 1970s, and they're really well curated this month. Some hidden gems. There are a couple that have been released overseas on Blu-ray before, but that's okay because these ones are so packed with extras, it's really not a problem to get these ones rather than the overseas versions. I'm going to do these in chronological order, or the numbers are always on the back of the discs, or on the site in this case. And this one kicks ass, to be honest with you. I've already got a copy of one of these films, but the other one is a deeper hidden gem than the first one. And they're both creepy ghost stories. The Uninvited and The Unseen, both directed by a guy called Lewis Allen, who's a now forgotten Hollywood director. And they are spooky, creepy horror movies. The first one's got a ghost in it, and the ghost isn't what you think it is at the start of the film. I really like the way the movie unravels the mystery. The Uninvited stars Ray Milland and Ruth Hussey as a brother and sister who buy a big old country house. And the daughter of the previous owner, played by Gail Russell, is haunted by the house. And they find out there is a ghost, and the ghost is very focused on this young woman played by Gail Russell. And The Unseen, I know very little about it. It stars Joel McCrea. It's also got Gail Russell again, and it's got Herbert Marshall, a very fine English character actor. These ones are in that 1940s vein of unsettling, dealing with issues of the past kind of horror. There's the box, and it's one of these, what I call cigarette packet boxes. I'll go through the discs and then I'll go through the extras. There's the alternative cover art for The Uninvited with Ray Milland and Gail Russell on it. There's a back cover. As I said, I'll go through the extras in a moment. And inside, of course, you've got some of the production art there. The extras are high definition 2K digital transfer from a 35mm duplicate negative, audio commentary by film noir expert and Film Noir Foundation board member Alan K. Rode, The Uninvited and the Female Gothic, and a video essay by Kat Ellinger, good value there too. Gail Russell, The Flame That Burned Twice as Bright, a little bit of an essay, an interview with critic Imogen Sarah Smith from 2024, 2 original radio adaptations starring Ray Milland, Lady Astor Screen Guild play with Ruth Hussey and Betty Field, and Screen Directors Playhouse with director Lewis Allen, and a theatrical trailer. I recommend this one. It's one of my favourite 40s ghost stories. It has a really good vibe about it, even though of course it was filmed on a Hollywood soundstage. It's got a really nice sense of place, which is important in a ghost story. Here's The Unseen with John McCrea, Gail Russell and Herbert Marshall. The tagline says, "Menace more deadly than the uninvited." There it is there, which has got a much more film noir gothic kind of artwork to it. The inside artwork, let's have a look at that. There's Gail Russell and Joel McCrea. Special features on this one are 1080p high definition presentation of a 2K scan from the original camera negative by Imprint Films, audio commentary by Alan K. Rode, Gothic Noir, The Unseen Touch of Henry James, a video essay by Imogen Sarah Smith and Max Every from 2024. So you got a lot of contextualization of this kind of horror movie, which I always appreciate. I never don't learn something about this particular genre of films when I watch these extras. So that's a good start to this month. Both of these movies, I'm sure I'm going to like the second one, but I definitely like the first one. Quality stuff. And from the look of things, the extras are really salient towards explaining and contextualizing the movie in the best possible way. And that kind of stuff I love. I'll watch the movie, but then I'll dip into some of the extras and realise that 3 hours has gone by. The next one I don't know anything about, which is good, because I get to watch it fresh. The tagline is, "Hate-filled eyes, accusing fingers, whispered words, all repeat this deadly phrase. Lorna Webster is a witch." And it's a movie called Woman Who Came Back. It stars John Loder, Nancy Kelly and Otto Kruger. Otto Kruger, you might remember, was in Dracula's Daughter in 1935. And appeared in a whole bunch of these fairly low-budget horror movies in the 30s, 40s, 50s. And the synopsis is, a woman believes she's bewitched and goes to her ancestral home. The villagers soon begin to think that she, too, is victim of the spell cast on her family for centuries. So it's one of those kind of movies. Fun to watch. Very classy alternative photographic artwork here. showing the cinematography beautifully. I really like that as interior cover art. We got the ensemble cast on the interior photograph. Special features: 1080p from a 2023 4K restoration from the original nitrate negative. So this is as fresh as you're ever going to get on this movie. Audio commentary by film scholar Kelly Robinson in 2024. Portraits of the Past, David Huckvale on Women Who Came Back from 2024. And Haunted by the Witch, From Salem to Eben Rock, a video essay by Joseph Dwyer. So there's tons of extras there for such a minor release. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. And there's a little bit of the artwork from the back there. This next one's something special. I know it's been released by Kino Lorber, but I really love this film. I originally had it, I think, on DVD back in the day, and I think I saw it on either television or on streaming service at some stage in the past. It's Thorold Dickinson's The Queen of Spades from 1949. And it's got a killer cast in. You've got Anton Walbrook, Edith Evans, Yvonne Mitchell, Ronald Howard. And it's the story of a Russian army officer in, I think, the 19th century who's become obsessed with playing cards. There's a rage going through his culture of people playing a certain card game. He's convinced that an elderly countess has the secret to winning every game through some supernatural means. And he seduces her niece in order to get close to the countess to find out the secret of playing this game successfully every single time. He's a poor army officer. All of his friends and companions are wealthy aristocrats, and he's obsessed with it. And the guy's played by Anton Walbrook. We also see a bit of a flashback to when the countess was young and how having this ability affected her life. It's a beautiful film, filmed on an incredibly small soundstage, and they're trying to recreate Imperial Russia on a very small soundstage. Where you see a horse carriage go past, they had to stop the horses just off screen because the sets and the studio was just that small. It's got a beautiful atmosphere to it. There's Anton Walbrook on the back there. And they've got original alternative artwork here, which I like to look at. It's like an old daybill poster for the movie. And there's a young version of the Countess, played by Edith Evans in the older version. This is a spooky movie. It's got such a vibe about it and such a real feel of otherworldliness that I just love it. The extras, and there are a lot of them on this one, rightly so. 1080p high-def presentation from a 4K restoration from the original nitrate negative. It has a really crisp restoration. Audio commentary by film critic and historian Pamela Hutchinson from 2024. Audio commentary by Nick Pinkerton. Introduction by some guy called Martin Scorsese. Luck of the Cards. Previously unreleased interview with actor Michael Medwin, who was in the movie as a very young man. Anna Bogotskaya plays Queen of Spades. Nightmare People. Director Thorold Dickinson on Saturday Night at the Movies. So there's an interview many, many years later with the director. 2 archival audio interviews with Thorold Dickinson, one from 1951 and one from 1968. There's behind the scenes stills gallery and the original trailer. This is something special. You should have this movie in your collection. It is extraordinarily good. I'm glad it's getting releases because there are a lot of lesser films and a lot of worse kind of creepy movies that get so much love. And then a movie like this, which is indeed something extraordinary, doesn't get enough love. And I'm glad that Imprint have put this out and made it accessible to people. Next up, we've got a 1965 English horror film I know nothing about. I know the actors in it, but I know nothing about the movie. The plot is an astute businesswoman is completely devoted to her faithless husband, who must kill her to carry on with her pretty young niece. It turns out that the dead don't die easily. Directed by Gordon Hessler, who also directed Scream and Scream Again, which is a great horror film. Catacombs, which stars Gary Merrill, who was married to Betty Davis, Jane Merrow, Neil McCullum and Rachel Thomas. This one I'm really looking forward to because Gordon Hessler didn't do a lot of movies, but he was a really distinctive director, and he filmed action well and he filmed character well. This is such a deep cut by Imprint. I'm surprised because I didn't even know the movie existed, and I am fairly cluey on these kind of things. There's the alternative artwork, the photograph from the movie there. There is the threatened wife, of course. And I love it when Imprint put out these kind of movies that even I don't know about. And then I discover them and watch them. I think, why didn't I know about this movie? The extras are pretty good. It's a 1080p high-def presentation from a 4K restoration of the original nitrate negative. Again, really crisp restoration. Audio commentary by Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons from 2024. Merrow and Merrill, an interview with actress Jane Merrow in 2024. The Glyn Miller Story, an interview with continuity supervisor Renee Glyn and sound editor Colin Miller from 2024, and their reminiscences about the movie. Martelli and Martell, an interview with the composer Carlo Martelli from 2024, and a stills gallery. This is such a deep cut horror film. I'm just blown away that it actually exists and that Imprint were able to find it and bring it to us with a whole bunch of really grounded extras. Another movie I haven't seen, which is good. The taglines are pretty good. This is 1935, so just bear with the taglines. Jungle Madness, Tropic Love, Glamorous Thrills. It's about a woman who grew up on a tropical island with voodoo all around, and she's grown up and she's got a husband and a child, and she starts to suspect that voodoo is still part of her life. There's a movie called Black Moon, stars Jack Holt and Fay Ray. I love that artwork there. That is just so wonderfully horror 1930s artwork. Nothing not to love there. There's not much in as far as special features. It's a 1080p high-def presentation. There's an option to watch black and white, or specific scenes are tinted in various colours. So you get the option of changing and chopping between those. Again, there's some beautiful alternative artwork, very much in the 1930s style. And then there's a tinted still from the movie as well. So essentially this is a voodoo jungle adventure from the 1930s. I like that Imprint is putting this kind of stuff out. Deep cuts. It's not your universal horrors. It's a different kind of horror programmer from the 30s, which still, that artwork, I need to have that on a poster. I really like the way that looks and the vibe that it gives. And I'm looking forward to watching this one as well. The last one's from 1970. It's a kind of doppelganger movie. There have been a number of other ones. The story this is based on was adapted to an Alfred Hitchcock Presents episode in the 1950s. So a little bit of the feel of Harlan Ellison's story Shatterday, which was the first story adapted in the newer version of Twilight Zone. It's an episode that has Bruce Willis in one of his first roles. But this is a different one. This is from 1970, directed by Basil Dearden, starring Roger Moore, The Man Who Haunted Himself, which is really interesting. It's about a man called Pelham, played by Roger Moore, who is wealthy and he's a businessman in very groovy 1970 London, who starts suspecting there's another version of him out there living parts of his life and interacting with the people in his life in various ways. It's a more complex role from Roger Moore than we get in most other movies. He really brings all of his acting chops to this one, where he has to be strong and aristocratic and also weak and confused. And I think he does a pretty damn good job of it. That's kind of groovy artwork there. I like that. There's the back with some more artwork of Roger Moore. Rocking a stash. Not sure whether he looks good or not in a stash, but I think a more substantial mustache was called for in that part. We got alternative artwork there. There's a bit extra to this one too, which I really like. And there's some of the artwork from the movie itself. And the extras on this one are something very special. It's a 1080p high-def presentation, of course. Audio commentary by Roger Moore and uncredited writer-producer Brian Forbes. Moderated by Jonathan Southard, and this was done in 2002. Audio commentary by Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons from 2024. The Man Who Became a Friend, a biographer and talent agent Gareth Owen on Roger Moore. The Men Who Were Haunted, an interview featurette with actor Freddie Jones and the production crew from 2023. There's the Alfred Hitchcock Presents episode, The Case of Mr. Pelham. There's a documentary, Roger Moore, A Matter of Class. There's an isolated score track, which is interesting. Theatrical trailer and photo gallery, but not only that, you get a facsimile of the original press book that came out with the movie for people who were reviewing it. There's the back with all of the credits. And inside, you've got one of these really groovy 1960s/1970s press books with details of all the actors. You may need a magnifying glass if you're visually challenged. But all the info is here and it's all printed very clearly. And there's lots of little vignettes about the making of the movie and the movie itself, which is really a nice addition. And there's a bunch of the poster art as well. Another nice deep cut. This is Roger Moore in between The Saint in the 60s and James Bond in the 70s. Roughly around the time he started doing The Persuaders with Tony Curtis. He was trying to re-establish his career a bit differently. Of course, he ended up going with the stereotyping that comes with James Bond. But this, in a sense, is the road not taken in Roger Moore's career. And it's worthwhile. It's got some beautiful production design. The clothes and the set designs are marvellously 1970 in a groovy way. You should check that one out as well. But this lot are a really good month for Imprint. None of these movies is less than enjoyable and watchable as far as I can see. I'm going to really have fun diving back into the ones I've already seen, and the ones I haven't seen I'm going to prioritise and watch them first, because I can wait to see Queen of Spades, I can wait to see the Uninvited, but the other ones, Black Moon and Catacombs and Woman Who Came Back and The Unseen, you can kind of get into that nostalgia trap of just watching things you've already seen. But I'm going to cleanse my palette with the ones I haven't seen yet and have a really good time doing that. So there's tomorrow taken care of. So thank you very much to Imprint for giving me these movies to review. A really good month, and they're doing wonderful stuff, and those extras are always crisp. And also, they're region free. There's no region coding on these ones, so if you want to buy them, I will post the link in the description of this video. So you can just click through to Imprint and get these. They often sell out, but what I suggest is get in as soon as you can, and you're more likely to get the ones you want, because there are limited editions to some of these. Some people get disappointed when they sell out, but some people get disappointed when they sell out, and I wouldn't want you to be disappointed by not being able to get these ones. So much good stuff here. It's a delight this month to get this one. Australia Post took a long time to get it to me. It would have been quicker if they had have just given it to a 3-year-old on a tricycle. Not Imprint's fault, but Australia Post really got tardy with this lot. And I've been waiting for these movies so I could talk about them and enjoy them. And they finally got here, and I'm really happy that they did, because they're a good addition to the collection, and there's a lot of entertainment there. So that's it for this time around. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you think of these movies, whether you've seen any of them and which ones you're going to get, because I'm interested to see which ones engage people and which ones people are looking forward to. So just let me know in a comment for that. You can also support the channel by donating at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies, and you get my monthly Spotify music playlist. Next up, we got Science Fiction Saturday, and I'm going to have some groovy stuff for you there. And until then, watch some good movies, watch these movies, and I'll catch you next time.